Good evening, good evening, good evening. Welcome to this edition, the evening edition, the after five edition of It's Sharing Saturday. It's Sharing Saturday, the evening edition, and what an amazing day I have had. No work all day, all play, all fun. And just, again, if you missed our morning live on the drive in, I'm on the drive out. So I'm en route back to Orlando from an amazing day. And I wanted to just jump on. I was trying to jump on to do some Sharing Saturday for our businesses and organizations who partner with us. But today I spent the entire day with one of our donors. And it's so funny because we were recapping when we met and how we met and all of that. And we were recapping like the first time we met. And then like the first time we saw each other and met each other. But then the first time that we met and went just like our relationship formed from that second time that we met each other. And then we've just been like two peas in a pod. So blessed, so thankful, so pleasantly plump honored to be able to have people in our lives that are blessings, not just professionally with businesses and business owners, but people who have personal interest in our organization and not just support us. We support them back and we love them. And so today it was all about giving back. It's Mother's Day weekend, so happy Mother's Day, as I said earlier, to all the moms. If you're a mom that's a mom to somebody else's kids, if you're a mom that's a mom to your own kids, if you're a mom like me to everybody's kids, happy Mother's Day weekend to you. But again, wanted to jump on and just give just a whole I'm thankful to be a mom, because definitely Mother's Day is definitely one of those times where I don't have to celebrate motherhood on one day, because I am truly a mother 365. And so that in itself is an amazing blessing, to just be a mom, to have children that love you, to have kids to go through the ups and the downs and the challenges, the highs and the lows, and all of that good stuff. So definitely thankful for that, and thankful for motherhood. So I don't know if any of you out there are going to jump on, or any of you out there are going to see this later. But definitely if you see it later and you post in the comments, what are you thankful for? What is that feeling you get about being a mom? From just your day-to-day experiences of motherhood, the good, the bad. Of course, you know, we all are going to have challenges, or we all are going to have those good times. You can't all have good times. You can't have good times all the time with your kids. You definitely have to have some lows to definitely make you embrace the highs when they come, or as they come. And so what are those thoughts from you moms out there? I don't care if you're a mom, a grandma, a great grandma, whatever. You were a mother first before you came a grandma and all of those other things. So even if it's that, I was a mother, I did what I was supposed to do. So now I'm being a super good grandma, and then a great grandma, and then great great grandma. So for me, I did, and I tell people even now, I'm still learning motherhood. There's always new things that are going on with our children. There's always new things as they get to different ages and stages of their lives that we have to learn how to cope with them. We have to learn how to deal with their, they feel like their adult age, they can be opinionated and expressive about all kinds of stuff. And so with that being said, what are your thoughts about, what makes you feel special as a mother? And so again, as a mom, as a mom of so many, and and just doing so much. It makes me as a mom not just appreciate the fact for my children and my children's children, but it makes me even love those senior ladies in my life. I talked about them earlier. It makes me love those senior ladies in my life that much more, because I see the investment that they have had in our lives, and in return, I definitely want to be able to share and give that back. There's so many wonderful older ladies that I deal with, and I'm excited to be able to just be a blessing to them. They allow me to love them and pop up on them and just do things for them, which is absolutely amazing. So I absolutely love that in being a mom, that I'm not just a mom for myself, but I see the experiences and I see what moms down through the years have brought back and given to so many. And so that makes me want to aspire and continue to be a great mother, a great leader, a great supporter, and all of that, not to just my own children, but other kids around the world, whoever is in my path, and makes me want to continue to be a mom. And I tell people, our children, we are that light, and so we have to make sure that we are always walking in integrity and being not just who we say out of our mouths, but we have to do as we say. A lot of times children, they see us do something, but that's not what we're saying. So we have to make sure we have that sense of integrity about ourselves when we're doing things. So Mother's Day is definitely, again, that time where you can reflect. And earlier I said to you, what are those things in life, as a mom? How can you better yourself? Hey Jay, hey Jay, your birthday's coming up, and you never called me back from last year's birthday. I'm just saying, I can't talk about that right now. It's Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to you too. You and you got kids and all of that, so happy Mother's Day to you. But as we have to make sure that our kids are not just hearing the things that come out of our mouths, that we are embracing what we're saying to them. So if we're telling them not to do this or not to do this or to do something, then we have to make sure that we're incorporating that in our own lives as well. A lot of times we don't. And then we wonder, I don't know why we wonder, but we wonder, why is this child doing this or why is this child doing that? It's because they sit up under us and they hear and they see and all of those things are going on, which is not what they should be doing, what they should be hearing or seeing. So we have to be accountable. Yes, we are the adults, and yes, we do have our own ways of life, but we can't say one thing and then do another when it comes to our kids. So again, it's Mother's Day. We have to represent as women, period. It's already harder for us as women to excel and to be in the place that we need to be. So just make sure that you're doing your part as a mom, and not just as a mom, as women. If you, I met an older lady today, and I had to be in her 70s, and she said, I'm not a mother, but I'm a teacher. And I said, listen, if you've instilled or imparted anything into somebody's child, especially as a teacher, you can crown yourself, and we can say Happy Mother's Day to you, because it takes a lot to deal with other people's kids, if you know what I mean. It's like disciplining your own children is one thing, but disciplining somebody else's kids is a whole different ballpark, especially in days like today where some don't like you to discipline their kids. We say it takes a village to raise kids. One of my things that I tell people is some of these kids have burnt the village down. It's like these older women do not want to deal with these kids because they're disrespectful, they're doing all kind of things out of character, and if you say something to them, they go tell their parent or their caregiver, and then it's a whole nightmare happening. And so with that, I say, you ask what happened to the village. Some of these kids burnt the village down. I hate to say it, but it's just what it is. And if I was somewhere where they burnt the village down, how do you rebuild it? And so how can we rebuild it? As moms, we can work together. We can make sure that I'm on live, son. I can't talk to you.
Wait, how are you doing?
So we can teach them to, sorry about that, my son's calling, but we can teach them to be those men and women that we would inspire for them to be, but it's up to them to make the change, to make a executive choice to say, I want to be better, I want to be positive, I want to move forward and have a life that's meaningful. And like I said, you don't have to be a mom for that, a biological mother who has birthed children. You just have to be a woman of power, dedicated to have integrity. If you've seen any of our hashtag, it's like, my life is my book, my word is my bond. If I say to you that I'm going to do something, like today, I'm out of town and I drove, and I'm absolutely glad I did, because there were some things about the organization that we talked about today that I was not aware of, and it's Sharing Saturday, and so we were able to share those things. I was able to contact some folk, and we're going to take care of those things for the organization when Monday comes. So that was just a blessing. If I had not traveled today, I may not have known the things that I have found out today. And so we have to be that light in the tunnel, of darkness with so much going on. We have to be just women that encourage and uplift and build up. There's so much going on in the world where we're tearing people down, or so much going on that we don't support each other. We can't just say out of our mouths that we support each other when we don't. And so we have to be those people that teach our generations to come, the generations underneath us, to just go ahead and say, it's okay if I support you. It doesn't matter if we do the same thing or not. It's okay if I support you and you support me back. That's the blessing of being women of power. And so again, you don't have to be a mom for that. Those are just characteristical traits that we all should display and we all should have as women, but especially as moms, imparting back into children. So again, if you're not a mom biologically, but you have imparted anything in a child, an aunt, or teacher, or educator, whatever it is, a counselor, a therapist, you by far, we can say you have that motherhood trait. So if you don't have kids and you don't aspire to have kids, there's nothing wrong with that, but continue to excel in life and make sure that the lifestyle that you're living is one that you would like another young girl to look up to you. And that's the thing about motherhood, I feel, for women, for young women, is to help them to reach that point in their lives where they're not really sure where they're going, but they can look up to a woman and say, you know what, I aspire to be better for myself because I see what this person has been through, or I see what this person is going through, and I want to be better. I've had some of those challenges myself, or I don't want to have those challenges. I see what they've been through, and I want to be different, and I want to be better. So with that being said, just make sure that we're all, as women, mother or not, doing our parts to be successful, helping others to achieve, whether you're a mom or not. If you're a woman, let's build each other up. Let's be successful together. Let's help our generations to come, whether it's under us or above us, even our senior ladies. Now is the time that sometimes we have to give back to them. With so much technology and so much going on, we have to give back to them and learn to share and help them to understand that even though we might do social media and all this stuff online, they aren't equipped to it or adapt to it, some of them, and some of them don't want to adapt to it. And so with that, we have to make sure we're just being that light in the darkness. I turned the light on in the truck so that you can see a little bit, but if you if you know anything about me, I want to be a positive light to girls, to women, all over, whoever I come in contact with, whether it's kids with cancer or whether it's women in general, young girls in general. I want to be a positive light no matter where I go, 365. I've learned self-control over the years, and it has definitely taught me to be the woman that I am today. And I'm so thankful and so humble because for me, it was a learning experience. Nobody taught me. I didn't have a roadmap to follow, or I didn't have people to look up to say, oh, this is okay. I want to do this. I want to do that. I had to learn these things along the way. And so I'm grateful and I'm thankful to be able to just, live out those things that I would want to see in my daughters and other people's daughters who have, been a part of my life and been a blessing to me. So with that being said, thanks for putting up with me through that push. If you notice, I was looking straight ahead. I was going across the bridge. If you missed it this morning, I'm usually crying and screaming and all of that when I go across any large body of water. That takes me longer than 5 minutes to get across. So I survived. I'm headed back to Orlando. I survived that water. Hallelujah. Thank you, Jesus, and all of that good stuff. But on a more serious note, definitely. I want you to enjoy your Mother's Day, your Mother's Day weekend. Enjoy whatever time you have, period, each and every day. I always say any day that you wake up and you have life and breath in your body is a great day to excel, to want more, to give back, to love, to share, to motivate, to educate, to cultivate others. Anytime that you can get up and do it again another day, that's a day worthy of just more. And so just make sure you're doing your part when it comes to whatever it is. Jay, I hear you. Thank you so much. I apologize. It just came out. It wasn't nothing intentional. I love you. But yeah, make sure you're doing your part. And so it's going to be late by the time I get back to Orlando. So I probably won't be able to share any of our Sharing Saturday stuff, our businesses and organizations, but I definitely want to give a shout out to Scott and just the blessing that he's been in our lives since we've officially met, not round one, but round two. After we met, I definitely want to give a shout out for the blessing that he has been and still continues to be in our lives. It definitely hits a different way for me when Mother's Day comes around, because if you know anything about our organization, Caleb is not here, and I do have other kids, and now I have grandkids. And for me, this year is every year hits different for me, different times of the year. I have different triggers. I have different triggers that trigger me when it comes to just dealing with the fact of being a mom and all of that. This year, Caleb would have been turning 16 years old. And so for me, I think about the kids, the teenagers that are out here right now. And there's a lot going on where kids are getting killed, and just unnecessary violence is going on. And so I think about my son would have been 16 when I hear about these young men and young women who are getting killed and left, or shot and left, and all of that different stuff. For me as a mom, I love my biggest thing in life. If you listen to any of my lives, if you see me on live anytime, my biggest thing in life is always I want to give back. I want to love, I want to give back, but I love to be loved in return. And so with Caleb not being here each and every year, it has been this year, next month, June, will be 8 years that he's been gone. And again, time for me doesn't heal all wounds. I will never, in this lifetime, I will never get over the fact that he's not here with us. But I learned how to adapt to change. I learned how to allow those moments to come. And like I tell people, don't knock the moment when it comes. Make sure that you're dealing with the moment. Make sure that the people in your life are helping you deal with the moment. And in a healthy way. that's the key to anything that you do in life. Make sure that they're allowing you to be where you are in the space that you need to be. And so with him not being here on Mother's Day, Mom, I really don't celebrate Mother's Day for myself, but I know that Caleb would want to celebrate Mother's Day. My favorite holiday for me, if you missed it, is my birthday month. I celebrate life, and I definitely celebrate it to the 200th power, being that my son can no longer celebrate another birthday. Excuse me, my son is trying to tell me something. I can't talk to him. Keep telling him that I'm driving back to Orlando and trying to do live and pay attention to the road, which there is traffic on the road, so maybe it's holiday traffic. But anyways, he can't celebrate another birthday. And so when God gives me that favor of life and that grace and that mercy to be able to see another month where I was born is one thing, but the bonus of seeing the actual day, April the 21st, I'm super blessed. I'm super honored because he didn't have to do it. To see me living healthy with no medical conditions. I haven't contracted COVID. I've been safe. I've been able to continue to do the things that I need to do for business as well as personal. I'm honored. So don't judge me because you don't know my story. Don't judge me because you don't know what I've been through to get to where I am now. If you know about our slogan, it says changing the lives of others one smile at a time. Just because you see me smiling, just because you see me laughing, doesn't mean that I don't endure the pain or the hurt. I just have learned to not let that pain overtake me, should I say. I've learned how to maneuver through it. If you heard me this morning, I talked about having relation to drive the ship. So that's where relationship comes from. I've learned how to navigate in a world where I have to accept loss. Loss could be anything: the loss of a job, the loss of income, the loss of a spouse, the loss of a husband, a wife, a boyfriend, a girlfriend. I've learned that everything in this life is not eternal, is not forever. And so if you lose something, I've learned how, just like I'm maneuvering through 275, just like I'm maneuvering through 275, I'm learning to be able to maneuver through life, period. And that's what you have to do when you're trying to move forward each and every day. You have to learn how to have deal with the relations that you have, where you will be able to maneuver the ship. So that's where a relationship comes in at. And so again, my favorite holiday to celebrate would have been, for Caleb, would be my birthday. But because Mother's Day is coming, I see signs of Caleb where we have a magnolia tree, and they bought me a magnolia tree after he passed, because his favorite flower to plant for me was a magnolia. And so with that, I said to them, I was like, why would you get me a tree? And so the first tree somebody destroyed or whatever, and I came home to a second tree. And so, in Florida, it's been hot, it's been different kinds of temperature. So I came home the other day, and I think it was this last week sometime, I can't remember exactly when it was, but I came home the other day and I saw the flowers and stuff were budding, and I'm like, oh wow. that just was, for me, that was signs of Caleb saying, hey, you're gonna be all right, whatever. But for me as a mom, and this close to Mother's Day, it just brightened my heart, blessed my heart to be able to see that the magnolias are starting to bloom or bud or whatever you want to call it. So again, motherhood for me means so much in so many different levels. Just because I've been able to be a mother biologically, as well as be a mother to others, as well as to be a grandma, and be able to instill. I might be the mean grandma, I might be the mean auntie, I might be the mean godmother, I might be whatever that you may think it's me being mean, but it's not being mean. It's being intentional about the things that I want to instill in people. And those who, and my kids, I'm just going to say that, intentional about, my children. I see from my grandkids and my godchildren growing up now, my children didn't have all this social media and all this stuff that was going on, and all the stuff that was going on in life. So it's like, for them, YouTube, I mean, my grandson is 2 and 3, they know how to get on YouTube, they know how to do all this other stuff, but just regular basic stuff, sometimes they're missing out on playing outside, or sitting at home having a book or a story read to them, or things of that nature. So Mother's Day is not just for me tomorrow, it's every single day. For those of you who have moms who were raised by your biological mothers in a healthy way, I envy you, because I will never have that relationship. I will never have that growing up like my children had their parents from birth to adult age. They've always had their mother, and so I won't ever experience that. But I don't want anybody else's child to grow up without that love, or knowing what that love is. So to all of you who have your moms, your biological mothers, I'm not talking about your grandma, your auntie, anybody else who raised you. I'm saying your biological mother. Make sure you love her and embrace her 365, but make sure you definitely do it on tomorrow. And then those who have those bonus mothers, teachers, educators, aunties, cousins, whoever took that spot of where a mom was not there, or could not be that support. Make sure that you are showing them love too, because they didn't have to. Some people had to alter their lives or stop things just to be able to make sure that just to be able to make sure that you had the things that you need. Who wants to alter their life when they feel like they already have things planned? Or who wants to alter their life when they feel like, you're going into this direction, and then now you see yourself saying, you know what, now I gotta go XYZ to do something else. So with that being said, again, just make sure that you are being loved first, but that you're loving in return. And that's what any day of the year is, whether it's Mother's Day or anything else. Just make sure that you're doing your part to love unconditionally, to be that support system, to make sure that the kids or the children's lives that you're involved in, that you make sure that you're going above and beyond to be a person of integrity. And it's not just for us women, because it's Mother's Day, but Father's Day is right around the corner. So make sure as men, we're imparting in our kids. And here's the thing, if you're doing your part, period, point blank. If you're doing your part, period, point blank, and what you're instilling is positive, and they still fall off course, you've done your part. That's all you can do. You can't beat yourself up because somebody decides to do or not to do something that, I'm not going to use an example, because I definitely have tons and tons and tons of examples that I can use about children doing, you instilling one thing in them positive, and they're them doing something else. I have to talk to some people all the time, and they be like, well, my kids wasn't raised like that, but they're doing X, Y, and Z. If you're teaching your child or your children to be leaders and they become followers, that's a choice that they made, and they have to suffer the consequences with those choices, period, point blank, hands down. Excuse me, traffic is backed up and it's actually stopped, so we're gonna have to try to reroute or something. But you have to make sure that you're doing your part, and as long as you have done your part, then there's nothing else more that you can do to oh, I don't know why traffic is backed up. So you have to make sure that you're doing your part, and once you've done your part, if they veer off, all we can do is pray and hope that they will veer back on to the right road and get themselves on track. If you know, I was a homebody girl, but like I tell people, if you wait long enough, they'll change, and prayerfully before it's too late. So you always want to just be hopeful and be thankful of what in the world. Y'all forgive me, but traffic is backed up. I mean, it's all the way backed up. I can't go nowhere. But you do your part, and then let them suffer the consequences or the penalty of having to figure out what they're gonna do to make things right. Oh, okay. So there's the police. So something's going on ahead of us, because traffic is like stopped almost. But make sure you're doing your part. As I said, prayerfully, all of our children would one day want to get their lives together. Prayerfully, one day they will be those men and women, young men and women, and then adults that we aspire for them to be, or that we are hopeful that they will be one day. And then they show us, that's the bonus of being a parent or a caregiver or anything in this realm, is that at the end of the day, you get to see the fruit of your labor. Like I talked to them, I instilled in them this. We had our highs and our lows. The blessing that I can say as a mom with Caleb not being here is that, hold on y'all, I'm trying to maneuver this camera. The blessing with him not being here is, for the 8 years that he was here, guess what? I was able to love him. I was able to be mom. We were able to share 8 years of amazing memories that I will cherish forever as his mom. I will always be Caleb's mom. Yes, we have other children, but I will always be Caleb's mother. And so I'm thankful. So if I had to replay those 8 years all over again, and the outcome still was the same, I'm satisfied in my heart, in my soul, down in my spirit, that I fought hard with him, that I loved him each and every day, that I made the choice to be a mom, to quit my job, to sit by his side, to stand by him, and to make sure that every single thing that he needed in those 3 years of battling cancer, that I would not have to look back and say, I wish I wouldn't have went to work this day, or I wish I wouldn't have left him by himself in the hospital. As we do see kids that some people have to leave their children. They don't have an option to not go to work because they have other kids, or because they're a single family income, or whatever the case may be. I can look back today, and it's been 8 long years, y'all. It's been 8 long years. I can look back today, and I'm grateful that I was his mom 365 for those 8 years. And whatever he needed, from day one to from before he was conceived, and they were saying that we were expecting, to the time that he closed his eyes and didn't open them again, that I was the best mom that I could be for Caleb. And I'm thankful that God chose me to be his mom. So again, it's Sharing Saturday. I was not supposed to share about Caleb. I was supposed to be talking about our businesses and organizations that we that support us and that we support back. But I guess I had a moment, and I guess it's okay since it's Sharing Saturday. As you guys see, I'm stuck in traffic. Can somebody please come get me? I'm somewhere on, I don't even know where I'm at, but I'm stuck. And everybody is acting like they don't see that we're stuck in traffic and slamming on brakes and all of that. So pray for me that I get to where I'm going. I get home, not where I'm going, but I get home safely, because I still have a ride. And yeah, we're finally moving. I guess so the ambulance and fire trucks and stuff are here. So something has happened. So that's why we're stuck. But I think we're getting moved. If the people would stop rubbernecking, we can get to where we're going. So must have was an accident or something on the road, but now I'm moving, and so I'm good. But again, it wasn't supposed to be, it was a nasty accident, but it wasn't supposed to be Sharing Saturday about Caleb and being a mom, but I guess it's appropriate since it's Mother's Day. But again, I'm just super excited to have been his mom and been able to share and love. And I'm trying to see where I'm going. Okay, I got my glasses on, so for all y'all be like, where your glasses at? I have them on. I can see the road and I can see the map. Well, I can see the signs on the road, or whatever you want to call it. But it was supposed to be about businesses. That's what we do on Sharing Saturday. We take time to share who we are. We are the Caleb Solomon Williams BLAC Foundation. BLAC is Caleb spelled backwards, and it stands for Believe Every Life Acquires Cure. And we are a childhood nonprofit childhood cancer organization. And so with that, we provide financial assistance and services back to those families who are actively battling cancer with their kids. And so that's who we are, what we do. Why we do what we do is because Caleb was our kid. He was our child, and he left us, he left a void in our lives that we could never, ever, ever, ever forget. But because we didn't want to stop the fight with him, we know what people go through to a certain extent. The passion that we feel to help others and to be a help to others. We just want to be able to give back to other families, because some families don't have those people in their lives that could, that's able to help them. Some families don't have those people in their lives who can support them, or they don't even have the guidance to know which way to go when they are when they're handed that diagnosis that my child has been diagnosed with cancer. I was in St. Pete today, and they have the hospital there in September. On the 11th of September, they're having a fundraiser event. And I was looking on there was a baby on there that's 3 months old that's been diagnosed with cancer. And nobody should have to suffer with any of these illnesses and diseases that our children are suffering with. I don't know if y'all can hear that radio or not, but that they have to suffer with. But 3 months, imagine having a child and then being told 3 months later that child has any type of illness, but not just that illness, childhood cancer. And so that's why we do what we do and who we are. The colors that you see us representing, which I don't have on today because I've been gone all day, are the wonderful green. Green is for lymphoma, which is the type of cancer Caleb had, T-cell lymphoblastic lymphoma, and our mugs are for sale. the gold that you see us wear, it's a yellow gold. People say yellow, but in childhood cancer world, it is gold. So gold, any type of gold, but this is the actual color. The yellow gold is the color that we represent our wonderful BLAC mask. So gold is for September, which is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. And with that, with National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, we just strive to raise more awareness to kids with cancer so that you don't skip over September and not realize that there is no childhood cancer. You jump right to October. We try to educate you that September is National Childhood Cancer Awareness Month. So that's where we get our green and our gold from in the organization. We are a nonprofit. We do receive funds. We fundraise 365 to be able to continue to support. We are on Facebook. We are on Instagram. We do have a YouTube page where we upload all of these lives. We do have a website where you can donate. We do have Cash App. We do have Zelle. Any of those different types of ways that we can you can make payments. We have those. We cater to the needs of our people. We do have our BLAC Giving Tuesday where we take donations 365, but every single Tuesday, what we do is we challenge you, if you've never donated to our cause before, to donate a minimum of $7 to our cause. And or if you have, or you are a regular donor, we ask you to, again, on Tuesdays, commit to donating a minimum of $7. And if you do 7 times 4, I believe that's $28 a month. But think about how many times you spend $28 frivolously on going out to eat, drinking some sodas. For y'all who like alcoholic beverages or smoke, and cigars and all that wonderful stuff. Think about how many times you spend $28 a month on things that you can give back to something positive, if it's not but once a month, once every other month, whenever it is. Think about that. Think about the children and their families who are affected by childhood cancer. That's the hard part of anything in this life. Think about how you can be a blessing to others. I know a lot of times we are so selfish that we forget to become selfless and help other people along the journey, whatever journey they're on. So I always tell people, if I support you, I expect for you to support me back. Not all the time does that happen, but guess what? I'm going to continue to be a blessing because that's where my heart is. My heart is in giving back to other people. My heart is into putting forth the effort to love and give back and support those, definitely those who support me, but definitely for to continue to support, you support me and I support you back. So even for those who don't support me back, they'll be able to tell you that, you know what, I may not have been there for her 5K, but she still came out and supported me. I may not have been able to give on her BLAC Giving Tuesday, but she still was able to come out and support me, and that I'll do. I may not was able to support her every month, but she still shouted our business out. She still shouted our business out on, what is this, Sharing Saturday. she still made things happen for us on Sharing Saturday. She still got our flyers out, or whatever it is that you've sent to us. I still make it a part of my life to make sure that I'm being a blessing to other people, because we can't do this alone in childhood cancer world. We can't do anything alone in this world, especially with so much going on. We have to make sure that we're mindful to support people at all costs. So it's getting dark. I had to reroute because traffic was so backed up. So because of the accident, I'm like definitely not feeling this rerouting going on, but I'm gonna pay attention to the road so I can get back to where I need to be. Again, to all of you moms, biological moms, mom, however you are a mother, however you are Mom, I pray that tomorrow, I pray that every day that you feel loved. But I pray that if nothing else, that you become a blessing to the kids in your life, and start today. Don't wait till tomorrow, Mother's Day, but start today imparting positive vibes and imparting positiveness in the children whose lives you come across. Because if you know anything about these kids today, they definitely need our love. They definitely need our support. They definitely need positive structure in their lives. So happy Mother's Day to everyone. I probably won't be on tomorrow at all, and that's not a bad thing. I'm thankful that I was able to enjoy this day. Didn't know it was going to be this late getting back on the road, but it was well worth the trip, well worth the knowledge that I learned today, especially when it comes to our organization. And just well worth just having the blessings that I have in my life. So again, we are 77 days away. If you haven't seen on the screen, we're 77 days away from our annual Childhood Cancer 5K. If you have never been, shame on you. We always have an amazing time. Like I tell people, we can have 5 or 500. We're going to show up. We're going to support the day, because the day is not about how many people show up. It's about how unified we are to make the day happen. And so we are early registration been closed, but Monday I'll be sending out the actual registration to, if you've attended the event before, we will send you out the registration link. You can participate in person, or you can participate online, virtual. So we're doing both. I already have people that are signing up virtually. I already have people that have paid. Me and my team, my staff, we have already registered early. We take care of that and get it out the way during early registration time. So don't be a crab in the bucket. Make sure you pull somebody up out the bucket with you and invite them to our annual Childhood Cancer 5K. 77 days is definitely not far away. You're talking July the 24th, which is right around the corner. It's already the 7th or 8th. It's the 8th of May. And so July will be here before we know it. We definitely want to get you registered before event day. I think our last day of registration will be whatever that Friday is before the 5K. Because of social distancing, we won't be taking payments out at the actual event. So if you have not paid for or registered before that Friday before the event to come in person or virtually, you won't get the link for the virtual Zoom, and you definitely won't be able to come out and participate, because the park, it has strict instructions on how they want the day to run, being that I'm getting all these notifications everywhere, being that because of COVID they have the strict guidelines. So make sure you do your part. Share this live, share our event. We've been sharing it every single day. I don't think I've shared it today because I've been gone. I've enjoyed walking on the beach and the pier and all of that stuff, just freeing my mind. And so I probably won't get to do it today. I'll probably be able to do our sharing Saturday tomorrow on Sunday, and I'll be able to share the event. Just depends on what time I get off the road tonight. But again, thank you for all of you in Childhood Cancer Land. If you've ever donated 1 penny, 1 nickel, 1 dime, $1, $500, $1,000, thank you to my big to our donors who are monthly donors. Thank you to everybody who donate, but thank you to those who partner with us monthly, who believe in us and who give back to us monthly. That was one of the interesting things today, because we were talking about the monthly donations, where they are being set up to where I don't have to go on monthly to donate to the organization. I automatically have it set up, and it automatically happens. So thank you to those who make sure that we have things set up to accommodate them, because you don't have to. I mean, you pay your light bill every month. For those of you who have car payments or car insurance or things of that nature, life insurance, some things just happen monthly, and so we know we have to pay those. But for those who go an extra step forward to say, you know what, I'm adding you to I'm adding your organization to our list to do it monthly. Such a blessing, because you don't have to. You can take your monthly donations and donate and support anything or anybody else, but you have a heart of gold and of love for the families that we service, because our funds circulate right back out into our families. We don't get paid for any work we do. We're all volunteers. And so that's why when we ask you to do something as volunteers, yes, it's our organization, but we volunteer, and so we do those things in return. So we are monthly donors, whether it's donating financially to our cause, giving blood products, sharing on our social media page. Every single thing that we ask you to do, we do in return. And so we are so thankful again to those of you, businesses as well as personal. I can't stress the fact that our personal donations, our personal donors that support us are definitely I can't applaud you. I just cannot not applaud you because of the work and the efforts that you have done to keep us afloat, especially during COVID times when income has changed and different things have changed and the prices of everything is going up. So thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. I'm definitely gonna get off of live. I need to get off this road. I'm what do you call it? I'm like jet lag, and I haven't even been flying. I don't like driving. But today was one of those days I really needed to, and I'm so thankful. And I'm not happy about this reroute, but God does everything for a reason, and I'm just going to say thank you for whatever reason I had to reroute and come back to where I'm going to get to my destination. I'm thankful because whatever it was ahead of me, he saw fit that I move away from it and around it. So thank God for detours. All detours aren't bad. Thank you for Childhood Cancer Land, for all of you jumped on who watch, all of you who are going to watch this after the fact. Just make sure you're sharing it. If you don't, I promise tomorrow is probably going to be one of those days that I upload as many of our lives that I have not uploaded to our YouTube channel yet. I definitely know I have about 10 that I have not uploaded, so I definitely want to load those on. But make sure you're sharing our organization, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, our website. Make sure you continue to share the love in your heart, not just for the organization, but for those families who we fight and battle against, help battle childhood cancer against. So I love you. Happy Mother's Day to all the moms, grandmas, great-grandmas, great, and all of that stuff. Make sure you love those women in your life that have made you, that you made a mom. If you're a man, if your mom is still living, your biological mom, your grandmother, whoever raised you and made you the man that you are, make sure you love them extra special. Even those women that you have children with, whether you are with them or not, make sure your kids know that that their mom is a blessing, no matter what the state is. She made your kids, you and her together made your children, and so with that, it's a plus. If it wasn't for you two coming together, you wouldn't have the kids that you had. So thank God for moms near and far, all around the world and country. Good night. Make sure you remember it's Sharing Saturday, and you know what we do. Share who we are and what we do. So we tag you to do the same. Love you, and have a good night.